Alright, welcome back into the Z650 build. Sometimes it's nice to take a couple of episodes out just to give me some time to think and research and start prepping and what I'm going to do next. I know I made the video list, but it's still working out actually what content goes into that particular video. So moving on to, as you can see on the bench, I've got engine brackets, I've got engine bolts, I've got foot pegs, and we've also got some of the spacers that we already cleaned in a previous episode, and the actual chain adjusters. I say two of them were cleaned up, but I've actually found another two that are actually slightly longer and slightly thicker, so I'm actually unsure which ones are the correct ones. So I'm actually going to run them through the parts cleaner. The parts cleaner's been on this morning. It's all warmed up, so it's ready to go. But I'll show you what I've got. So as you remember with the brackets, started to clean that one up. Similar one to that. I say the footrests, again, everything was sprayed blue. These all need stripping down, cleaning. And obviously some of the engine bolts, some were already covered. That one needs a bit more work. These bits are what I did in an earlier episode. So again, the spacers, that's one of the bolts from that one. But as I say, I've got these two. Been going back through the box again. But again, a lot with these bolts, they're pretty rusted up. So I need to go through them, run them through the parts cleaner. Try and strip these back if I can and disassemble them. Then they can all be painted. Parts washer's up to temperature. I'm just using the bench grinding bench for now, just to rest that on. So I'm going to put the first lot through and then wait probably about 15 minutes and see how they come out, and then join me then. Right, so that's had two runs. So that's had just over 30 minutes. So I'm going to take these out, give them a wash down. I'll stick them on the bench. I'm not expecting brilliant results, but if it's loosened some of the paint, and then I'll run them under the wire wheel. Alright, so they've gone through cold water wash using a wire brush. And they've actually started coming up. Not too bad. That's going to be the worst one. So next job is actually run them through the wire wheel. I'll take off the ultrasonic cleaner. That can cool down for a bit because I can't use it for more than an hour at a time. So we're going to start cleaning these up, and then we'll strip down the foot pegs. I've already started to try and get the split pins out, and then these can go in the cleaner as well. So as I say, first job we'll get the wire wheel set up and run these under and see what come out. Right, so the wire wheel's all set up. Let's get some safety goggles. Alright, so let's start on the first piece. Alright, that's the first one. It's come out pretty well. A few little bits on the edge to do. But it's basically repeat the process for all the other ones and the bolts. So join me again when I've got them done. Right, and that's all of them done, all gone through wire wheel. As I say, I do have quite a collection of these, so I'm not actually sure. That one's got 48 stamped in it. I need to work out which ones are actually for the bike, but I'd say that's the only one that's sort of an odd shape. All the rest kind of mirror each other, so I'll leave that one to one side. With regard to the bolts, started to come up, but if it comes to it, I'll replace them. Bolts are cheap enough. I do like to try and save as many as I can. These are quite rusty. But the main aim was these brackets. I say unsure on that one. What I might do, you can say in theory there should be just 4. 2 for the front, 2 for the back. So I'm unsure on that one. But what I might do, just in case, because I had 5, I'll prime and top coat all 5. Next job to get onto, again, that's quite severely rusted, so that will probably be thrown. That doesn't even match, that's an odd. So then I'll probably discard. Next thing to do is actually get these split pins out, run these through the wire wheel, run them through the ultrasonic cleaner first and then through the wire wheel. So that's the next job. Right, so as I said, I've actually started to straighten out these split pins. Just trying to now flatten them enough to get them through a hole. Right, that's the first one. That's pretty rusted up, but that will clean. And see if I can get these foot rubbers off. They're going to have to be replaced, so I may just cut them off. Yeah, that one's split as well. Alright, so I'll cut that off. Alright, so that's the first one cut. As you can see, the amount of rust that's dropped out. Try and give these a good clean up. So literally all I'll be saving is just them 3 parts. So I'll just move this to one side and do exactly the same again with the second one. Right, the second one's starting to come out. Not as in bad condition. So that's the first 2, that's the front ones, no, that's the rear ones, sorry. Now for the fronts, exactly the same again. As you can see, these are split, so I'll replace those. Split pins will be replaced. Right, so let's clear this mess out of the way and get these 2 done. Right, so the front ones are apart. One bracket, one pin, one washer. They'll all clean up. Next thing to do is the same thing as we did with the rears, is to actually cut these rubbers off just to leave the actual metal bar, so I can clean them up, get them painted. So that's the next job, is cut those off. Right, and that's the front ones done. As you can see, quite a lot of rust has come out of these front ones. Still savable. So what I'll do is I'll run these through the ultrasonic cleaner again, probably 2 sessions, 15 minutes each session. That lot's just going to go in the bin. Replace the split pins, as I say, when it goes back together. But I'm going to run that through the ultrasonic cleaner. As I say, I'll run a 15-minute session, give them a quick brush down, and then put them back in for another 15 minutes. And then I'll run them under the wire wheel. So join me when we get to the wire wheel stage. Alright, so these have just come out after a half hour, well, it's nearly 35-minute cycle in the parts washer. Has started to bring up some of the surfaces. So next thing to do will be run these under the wire wheel. I only left the washers and the pins in for the first cycle. They've come up quite well. So happy with how they've gone. Next thing to do, move back over to the wire wheel and give these a going through. As you've seen me use the wire wheel many times, what I'm going to do is I'll do these 4 pieces first and then lay these next to these pieces so you can see the difference. Alright, as you can see, the difference is actually come up quite well compared with, well, that's after the ultrasonic cleaner, so it was worse than that. That one's come up really well. That one you can see the heavy pitting, primarily because that had the split rubber. Footrest rubber was split, where that one wasn't. So obviously water's got in, started to rust it, but it's still come up. It's still usable. So when you compare it to what I started off with, big improvement. So let's just move these over. Right, the other thing, while I was waiting for the ultrasonic cleaner because it's too noisy to film, I've gone through these engine bolts and given them a clean up. So last thing to do is these 4 pieces. So again, I'll run them through exactly the same. I'm not expecting brilliant results. We go, as you can see with the pitting, that one might be better than this one, but again, purely to where the water's got in. So I'll run these through, and that will just about wrap this up for this episode, and then I'll lay out everything we've got and what's ready for painting. Right, so that's everything cleaned. These are now done. Just got a little bit inside there. As expected, that one came out not too bad. That one's quite heavily pitted. But as I say, these will all be, probably with the exception of the washers and the pins, all these brackets and all the footbed parts will be primed up. I'll do that in the next episode. So next episode will be paint these brackets and the footrest parts, except the washers and the pins. Pins I'll do a little bit more on and polish the ends. But that took some time, but as I say, as long as I can retrieve something and make it good again, that's the main part of it. The more I can save on obviously spending, the better. As I say, there's a few parts obviously that have already been done. I've left that spare bracket in there. Obviously these parts were done at an earlier episode. So these spacers will also be painted. And obviously that bracket just in case. So as I say, that'll be coming up in the next episode. Right, so thanks for joining me on that one. Hope that one was helpful. It's another job ticked off the list. It's a long list, but these things need to be done. They are quite mundane. But as I say, everything needs obviously looking at, cleaning, polishing, painting, etc. And as you know, obviously with anything you do, especially rebuilding bikes, the prep work is most of the job. So as I say, I'm pleased how these have come out. I will give them a wipe over before we prep, but that will be coming up in the next episode. So as I say, next episode, prepare yourself, it's paint. But as I say, we haven't painted for a while, so I need to get these bits done, then they can hang to dry. And that's another job out of the way. Pleased to get the actual engine bolts done as well. So all the bolts are done, the brackets are done. More than likely the bolts that were actually in these brackets I'll probably replace. Some of them did clean up okay, but I'll probably replace them. It's probably the easiest thing. But as usual, any comments in the comment box below, and thanks for watching. Join me again next time. Cheers. Bye.